Hello and welcome to episode 179 of Controller Club, the friendly face gaming space, a podcast where three friends from three continents share in one love, and that is video games. On today's episode, Valve is making a console, Horizon's an MMO now, and Brie Larson is in the Super Mario Galaxy movie. All that and more gaming headlines. But before we get to all of that, my name is Kleinfeld, and alongside me today are two of my best friends in the whole wide gaming world. First, coming to us from across the pond, it is the digital art daredevil himself, Tom Drew. I almost said Daredevil. I almost threw the T before from your name into the Daredevil. How are you doing, Tom? What's going on?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Let the record be shown or be known, or whatever the phrase is, that the Pokemon addiction is still alive. I
Oh,
went
God.
to a store on Friday morning to pick up some new cards for the new set. Just happened to be there, but like I showed up and there were just like a bunch of scalpers there, so I kind of joined the line behind them, and the women behind the cashier seemed kind of like just fed up with it. Um, the scalpers all left, and I walked up to the counter. I didn't say it like this, but I basically said the equivalent of like, "Get a load of those guys." Am I right? Sorry about them, but it was just like, but I'm no better than them. In reality, I am the same person in many ways. So yeah, that's my little story for the start of the show, I guess.
You ended up getting cards, though? Like,
I
the
did.
scalpers didn't buy them all out?
Luckily not. Yeah, they still had some more. I can guarantee though by I'd say noon, they're probably all gone. But luckily I was early enough to get at least a couple cards. So hopefully there'll be some good stuff in the stuff that I got.
Haven't opened them up? Are you keeping them sealed, or are you tearing them
I'm
open?
saving them for a special occasion when I can just like go
Oh,
crazy with them.
okay.
So yeah.
Next up, it is journalist extraordinaire, the Australian abroad / the Canadian in training, Lauren Rouse. Lauren, how are you doing? What's going on?
Things are good. I have come up with no story for the start of the show. So
Here we are.
this
Here
happens to
we
me
are.
every week. I just mind blank, head empty.
Yeah, you sit down, you're like, I have so many things to say. And then the second we start recording, it all just disappears. It goes right out your ears.
Yeah, I'm very useful on a podcast.
Well, that's okay. We're not here to tell personal anecdotes, although those can be fun. We are here to talk about video games, specifically video game news, because it has been a very, very busy week. So we have a very special Oops All News episode of the show. Let's get into it. Tom Drew, give us that news jingle.
It's the news we choose. Yeah.
We'll start with me. There is a new player in the video game console space. The Steam machine has been announced. This is from Darren Bothuis at GameSpot. Valve has announced 3 new Steam hardware products over the last week, which will all be shipping out in early 2026. Next year, we'll see the launch of a new Steam controller, a Steam machine for PC gaming, and the Steam Frame VR headset, with specific launch timing and pricing to be shared after the first of the year. The first product is the Steam controller. It's inspired by Valve's Steam Deck mobile gaming PC, and it includes all the inputs required to play a modern game. Valve says the controller is equipped with next-generation precision magnetic thumbsticks, full-sized controls, trackpads, gyro, and grip buttons, and it's compatible with PC, Steam Deck, Steam Machine, and the Steam Frame. According to Valve, you'll get up to 35 hours of use from a full charge. Next up is the Steam Machine. If you're looking to bring your PC gaming to your TV, the Steam Machine looks like it'll be a compact solution. This roughly 6-inch cube runs SteamOS and is made to work with the Steam controller, and Valve says that it also supports other accessories so that it can offer a versatile PC gaming experience. It will be available in 512 gigabytes and 2 terabyte models with room for micro SD cards to expand storage. And internally, these have an AMD Zen 4 6C 12T CPU, a semi-custom AMD GPU, and 16 gigabytes DDR5 RAM. Valve says that the unit also supports 4K gaming at 60 frames per second by using AMD FSR with ray tracing. And lastly, the Steam Frame. The Steam Frame is a VR headset that can stream VR and non-VR games, designed to be comfortable and featuring a lightweight construction. It's powered by a Snapdragon processor and runs Steam OS. It also supports standalone play and full controller input support for PC VR and non-VR games. The headset has a 2160 by 2160 LCD per eye screen and 110-degree field of view, 72 to 144 hertz refresh rate, 16 gigs of RAM, and will also be available in 256 gigs or 1 terabyte models. Storage capacity can also be expanded with microSD cards, and the Steam Frame controllers have 6 DOF tracking, capacitive, yes, finger sensing magnetic thumbsticks, and a battery life of up to 40 hours when using AAA batteries. Quote, we've been super happy with the success of Steam Deck, and a lot of the feedback we've received from gamers about it is what encouraged us to expand the options for Steam users. Along with Steam Deck, these are devices designed to work together, optimized for Steam, while continuing to operate as open platforms, end quote, Valve added in a press release. One key detail we don't know yet is cost, but Valve did talk about the Steam machine's price in vague terms. The Steam Deck has been well received since it first launched several years ago and helped kick off a new line of mobile gaming PCs from other companies, and Valve is rumored to be working on a new and upgraded model that might launch in 2027. This space has heated up recently with the arrival of Lenovo and MSI handhelds, and recently Asus and Microsoft launched the ROG Xbox Ally X with AMD's new Ryzen Z2 Extreme chip. On the console side, Sony also offers the PlayStation Portal, a handheld that streams games from either a PS5 console or the cloud. The big news here is this Steam machine. We are getting essentially a Steam console for what I would consider the very first time. They did a Steam machine about 10 years ago, but it was not a Valve produced box. They were kind of an idea that they licensed out to a bunch of other people. I think Lenovo made them. Alienware definitely made some. Asus definitely made some. And it was a huge failure. This is Valve looking at the console market, the changing PC market, and saying, you know what, we're going to do it ourselves. So I want to know, just right off the top, how big a deal do we think this is? Is Valve really here to plant its flag in the console market and be like, hey, you know what? If Xbox is going down, we want to compete with PlayStation. We want to do their thing. Is this going to be a very niche thing? And does this interest either of you at all? Tom?
Yeah, there's a lot to kind of unpack here. Like, I think it's interesting that they are making this play. I think it's ultimately good that like we have like someone kind of stepping up. Like maybe if this makes moves, it can give some of the other console makers, I don't know, like something to think about in terms of like how they go moving forward with like what their consoles look like essentially. Um, yeah, I mean, I'm assuming this is going to be a case where like you buy this thing and your entire Steam library can kind of transfer over to this. I mean, they
Yep.
haven't kind of said that, but I mean, I'm assuming that's what it's going to be. So that kind of is a cool prospect if you have like a PC, a Steam Deck, Steam machine. The fact that you can have your libraries kind of circulate all of that, and you can just kind of pick the form factor. And it sounds like a really like cool idea. For me, like personally, would I like pick this up? I mean, I'm like a Mac user, so I don't have like I have Steam installed, but I don't think there's like that much I can really realistically play compared to the like amount of other stuff that's supported in like a PC thing. But if I was like a Steam user, I could like this is I can definitely see the value in something like this. I think it just does kind of depend on what they would charge for this console at this point. I have a feeling it probably will be on the expensive side, but that's just based off like nothing other than vibes, to be honest. But I'm just interested to see like what this leads to, what they do with this ultimately.
I think price is going to be a huge factor here to tell how seriously Valve is actually taking this push. If it is $1,000 machine, like some of the insiders have kind of said, like that's kind of what spec wise this looks like. They're saying it is approximately the power of 6 Steam Decks, which is quite powerful. They say it's about a mid-range PC. However, if Valve is quite serious about this and really wants to push into the console space, they have Steam. They make so much money on Steam. There's a reason they don't make games anymore. Is because Steam makes them so much money. If somebody was able to undercut themselves and take a loss on this simply because they know how much money they can make elsewhere in the business, Valve is the company to do it, because that is really what they do. They are, not to say anti-capitalist, but they have been known to go a little crazy sometimes when it comes to pricing structures and really leaning into things when they believe in them. And so I've seen some reports out there saying this could be $500, which would be cheaper than a PlayStation 5 Pro. I think it would be right around where a PS5 is these days. That would be crazy. And I also could maybe see it happening, which would be quite impressive, I think, for them. If they do that, then it's like, okay, Valve is here to play. Like, Valve wants a slice of this pie. Lauren, you haven't spoken about this. What do you think? Are you interested in any of this at all? And pricing wise, do you think I might be? Am I out to lunch with this $500 price plan?
I think the advantage of this idea is that, consoles, at least in my mind, exist because they are platforms that they're basically computers that you can play games on without all the upkeep that you need to do to maintain a PC. I used to be a PC gamer, but the thing that really got in my way was, firstly, PCs are bulky and the separation between like using them for work and using them for play can be difficult. But also the upkeep was too much. Like, when I was like a kid and my dad was working on my PC, that was fine because he knew how to install different drivers and upgrade things, but I didn't know that. And so the advantage of consoles is that you don't have to worry about that. So if this is essentially a PC without needing to do all those things and it'll just run things like a console, I think it's a great idea. I'm kind of definitely intrigued. The only thing is that there aren't enough Steam exclusive games that would like motivate me to buy one at this point. Like I still have enough going on with my PlayStation and my Switch. But the advantage of like things that draw me to Steam is that that's where most of like the indies go. That's where most of the new developers go. That's where games release first because that's the easiest platform, right? That's what they're all developing for. So I could see that being an advantage too. But forking out potentially thousands of dollars for a console that's just going to play like indie games doesn't really seem feasible. So if they do want to be competitive, I think what you're suggesting, Klein, is the right path. And you've kind of written down here potentially if they maybe are getting back into the development side of things, maybe with a new Half-Life game or something like that. If they release like a new Half-Life game in conjunction with this Steam console, that's an easy win. They'll
Yeah.
sell.
I think it's funny you bring that up because it's a perfect transition. The smoke is out there. Half-Life 3 rumors are like really, really rolling right now. And I don't think it would be crazy for them to launch around the same time as a Half-Life 3, this Steam machine. I could see this getting announced before the end of the year. I actually I'm fairly confident in saying I think it will get announced before the end of the year. Steam, Valve, this company loves debuting new technology with an in-house software experience. With Source, the original their amazing physics engine back in the day, it was the first Half-Life. Steam launched with Half-Life 2. Half-Life 2, the only place you could play it, they were like, we are only launching on this digital storefront, and people were pissed. But look where we are now. Source 2, Dota 2, the Index, their last headset, Half-Life Alyx. That team that did Half-Life Alyx, Campo Santo, amazing indie team from a few years ago, was making a game called, oh, I'm forgetting. Anyways, they were purchased by Steam or purchased by Valve. And there's kind of this culture in Valve where it is like, if you're a developer, if you are a software engineer, you have your roles, but you can kind of, if you have a passion project, go and chase it. And so this team that was working, it was called The Fire and the Flood was the game. And oh no, anyways, they abandoned that game because they were like, we can touch Half-Life. We love Half-Life. Let's do a Half-Life thing. And they went and did Half-Life Alyx. That Half-Life passion since Half-Life Alyx from them has been there and has continued to be there. Every interview they talk about, we love Half-Life, we love Half-Life, we love Half-Life. I think this team is making a Half-Life 3, and I think we're going to see it before the end of the year, and it's going to launch on the Steam machine or on Steam, but like it will launch in conjunction with the Steam machine. Does that sound crazy?
I honestly don't think so. Like, I think the fact that Alex did happen after so long, like everyone was like went crazy when that came out, and like the game. I mean, I haven't played it, but like from everyone I've heard who's played Alex, it's like one of the best VR games out there. So I can only hope that they would bring the same energy to Half-Life 3. And honestly, yeah, like you say, it could be announced before the end of the year. I honestly buy that. I think it like it's obviously been a meme on the internet for like as long as the internet really has existed at this point. But I don't know. I think the Half-Life 3 memes are finally going to come to fruition, which is kind of exciting. I mean, I
And
probably
kind of
won't be able to play it.
insane if you think
Yeah,
about
like
it.
it's
Like,
just it's
think about
weird, right?
the longest running joke in video games has been like Half-Life 3, Half-Life 3, every single showcase since 2010, ever since there's been online chat. Every third comment is Half-Life 3, Half-Life 3, Half-Life 3, and it's a joke. And it's always been a joke because we knew it was never going to happen. But I think it's happening. Like there's this unlisted game on Valve's publisher page on Steam that isn't this Deadlock game because that's also there. There's rumors of them having a big announcement in November, not this hardware one. Like all the insiders that said, "Oh, Valve has a big announcement coming in November," when this hardware stuff popped up this week, they're like, "This isn't it." So what could it be? It has to be Half-Life.
Hey, now, if they're going to do it, it should happen in the year that they also released Hollow Knight Silksong.
Yeah, that's the thing. It's
If
a
you thought
year of
the Hollow Knight
miracles.
Silksong hype was huge, Half-Life 3 is going to be like
2025 is the
crazy.
year of impossibilities happening. Except that
I
GTA 5
know.
6 didn't come out.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
It seems absolutely insane. Like that is I think is the perfect word that we're talking seriously about a Half-Life 3 coming out and actually happening and not talking about it like some piece of vaporware that is just floating out in the ether somewhere.
I don't think it's crazy at all. I think that they
Yeah.
need something. If they're going to try and push, like, make a serious push into the console market, they need a serious exclusive, and that's the most serious one that they have.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, the next Steam thing is coming out early 2026, right? Like
Yeah.
the box.
I think the
Um,
rumor is before the beginning of March, so January or
okay.
February.
So does that? I mean, obviously GTA 6 is not till November now. So, but what if they're like, okay, GTA 6 is coming out at the end of the year. What if we also released Half-Life 3 the same day? Do you think that could? I don't know.
I,
Could
I don't.
that scare them?
The
Could that scare
conspiracy
people?
theory hat is out again with GTA 6. I know. I think they have to release the game with the console. Personally,
Yeah,
like it needs to be on launch. Otherwise, what people are just gonna we'll just wait till November to buy it. Then, if that was the case,
I guess
Yeah,
that's true.
I think it is a launch day, if not launch like month sort of
Mm.
deal. And it will be a Steam game. You'll be able to play it on PC, you'll be able to play it on Steam Deck, but the only place you'll be able to play it in your living room is on one of these little Steam machines. And might I say, the Steam machine design wise, I actually really dig it. Like it's just like this like cute little black cube with a line on it. It has faceplates. So like the Etsy stores of the world have already started like making all sorts of cute designs you can buy. I think there was a companion cube one going around already. They had this amazing, they said it was not going to be for sale, but in the announcement video, they had, like e-ink where it's like the Amazon Kindles sort of deal. It had a faceplate with that on it that was telling you like the internal temperature and like the fan speed and things like that. It was telling you those sort of statistics. But I like the look of this thing, and I'm really intrigued by it. Like I have dabbled my toes in PC gaming, but the thing about PC gaming that keeps holding me back, you kind of brought it up, Lauren, is like I sit here and work at my PC all day. Like this isn't where I necessarily have fun time, and I know that that's maybe something that like a lot of people get over in their PC gaming lives, but for me it's just like there is that barrier there. If I had all of my Steam library, which I have quite a few games on Steam, and I love the Steam experience. I think that just like Steam is like the top-notch digital storefront right now when it comes to games and all of the just like services that they provide, and like it's an incredibly economic way to play games by buying through Steam because the sales are absolutely crazy. And so like I saw this thing and thought, could potentially be the thing that makes me go, you know what, maybe I'm a PC gamer now. Maybe I'm playing on my Steam machine, and I'm going to get my PlayStation exclusives on PS5, but like eventually those also mostly come to PC as well. And guess what comes to PC is Xbox exclusives. And it's like you're going to get except for Nintendo, eventually you're pretty much, it seems, going to get like the best of both worlds if you do dive into this ecosystem.
Yeah, if you can partner your Steam, which I think you can, like partner Xbox Game Pass through Steam. Is that can you do that?
You can't, but the thing is that people are already saying is this is ultimately a little PC. Yeah, it's going to run the Steam OS experience, which will make it feel very console. But I bet you within the first 24 hours of this thing being out there, people will have workarounds to open
Right.
up Xbox Game Pass, just like they did with the Steam Deck, and open up all sorts of things and do all manners of craziness that you can do on a PC on this little box. So if you want to turn it into, hey, like, let's also make it my media center with all my movies and TV and things like that, like, you will probably be able to do that. Or,
Mm.
hey, can I take this thing and do cloud gaming over it on my PlayStation, or yeah, do Game Pass, or turn it into a little like emulation box. I think you're going to
Mm.
be able to do that fairly easily because it is just ultimately just a little PC.
That's very appealing to me because part of the issue that I have with Steam is that, I don't really have a great monitor to play games on. So being able to connect it to my TV is either a hassle because you've got to like go and plug your computer into your TV and like that's a pain in the butt. So being able to have the little box, plug it in, good to go, like very appealing. And this new controller, we didn't really talk about that or the VR headset really, but the controller seems very fancy and cool.
It's weird looking with the trackpads connected to it. It's like if you haven't
Yeah.
seen it, it looks like a kind of a dual shock if that big space between the handlebars, what I'll call them, the where you place your hands on the dual shock had more plastic and it's got a few more buttons and the little trackpads.
Yeah, so I'm guessing that's just for like mouse support sort of stuff.
Yeah, it's just
Like,
like
yeah,
every input that the Steam Deck has on it, they're putting on the controller.
yeah, it makes sense. Because that's the one thing that like I think could maybe hold us back is that there are a lot of games, that are really, rely on like that mouse support. But that could be
That's
a good
true.
workaround, it seems. But yeah, it will just be like I think capturing that mass market, whether they go for that thing. Because the Steam Deck, it's done like well from all accounts, but that still I would say is a very niche like
It's a very niche
product.
thing. They're not selling it in Best Buys or Walmarts
Exactly.
like it is. You can only buy it from the Valve website. But if they can get the Steam machine in storefronts, which
Yeah.
like that'll be another thing. Are they really serious? Do they want people walking to Walmart and buying these things, or will it ultimately
Mm.
be this like kind of niche thing that you can only buy from Valve.com?
Yeah, exactly. Or if it's like, is this the test run, and then like they see how this does, and then maybe the Steam Machine 2 is like where they actually like, okay, we're really going to go for it,
True.
and see how this thing can do, like on a much bigger scale. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do.
On the VR front, I'm still confused why companies are pushing this. Are people really playing this much in VR? Like, I feel like the Apple
I
Vision
don't
Pro
know.
was like a big, expensive kind of failure. Definitely the PSVR 2, like, hasn't real like they don't even include the games and showcases really anymore.
I
Like, I'm
know.
I'm just confused why all these companies feel like they need a VR headset. Like, do they know something we don't?
I do find it interesting with this particular headset. If you watch the announcement video, they don't really show a VR game in it. What are they playing on it? Hades 2. And what do they talk about in the press release? They talk about
Why?
non-VR games. And so to me, they're almost selling this as a, hey, this can be your second screen. This can be your put it on a plane. It doesn't have to be tethered to anything. Put it on in your living room. And while someone else is using the TV, you can play your Steam games.
This is how
I
you
don't know.
escape
On a
the
That's just the way
plane?
horrors.
that they positioned it.
This is
Okay.
how you you shut out all the horrible things that are going on around you, and you
Exactly.
Yeah.
just shut up.
Do
Yeah,
you hate
that's
your
that's so
family?
cool.
Here's a helmet you can put on.
Exactly. Yeah, I mean, like, because they had the index, like you said, Klein. So I guess this is just like, well, we did the index. I guess we have to do like a follow up. But yeah, I just don't. I'm trying to think if there's anyone I actually know. I know like one person who has a VR headset, but I don't think he actually like actively uses it. So I just don't. I don't know. I don't think VR unless there's some. I don't know. I honestly don't know how you can really get VR like going at this point because it doesn't really seem like that big of a thing, other than like a novelty thing
Mm.
that you might do at like an actual in person kind of thing where you're like maybe doing VR with other people or something like that. Other than like that, I just don't see it being that kind of mass appealing.
Yeah. I think that this is going to be a fascinating next couple of weeks to see what else they have to say, how much this thing's going to cost, is there a big game coming with it, and I don't know if it's the Game Awards or if they do their own announcement, but I think that we will, by the end of the year, have a lot more info. Let's move on. Tom, we had a bit of a big trailer drop this week that we did a live reaction to over on the YouTube channel.
Yes, we did. Yeah, Klein graciously woke up very early on Wednesday morning, and I woke up at a normal hour and just watched the trailer in the afternoon for the Mario Galaxy movie. Because yeah, we got some new footage for that. So Nintendo and Illumination held a live stream on early Wednesday morning to bring a brand new trailer for the Super Mario Galaxy movie. The new footage follows directly on from the events of the first film, providing a catch up with the captured Bowser and his arch rivals Mario and Luigi. This quickly transitions into other quick moments from the film, including the Mario Bros. Going full Mad Max in the Sand Kingdom from Super Mario Odyssey, Princess Peach and Toad taking it to the stars on their own galactic adventure, and Bowser Jr. hoping to save his father from the Mushroom Kingdom. The trailer ends with a first look at Princess Rosalina in the movie as she takes down Megaleg. Casting information was also unveiled, with Uncut Gems director Benny Safdie taking on the role of Bowser's son, and Rosalina being played by none other than Nintendo superfan Brie Larson. So yeah, we this is our first look at the trailer. It's coming relatively soon, early next year. It's kind of crazy that like we're getting this trailer and the movie's like basically just around the corner at this point. But Lauren, you weren't able to join us for the live stream, so I want to hear what you think of this trailer. What are your thoughts on what we saw here, and Brie Larson being in the Nintendo cinematic universe?
Yeah, I think Shigeru Miyamoto sat there and was like, "Damn, we really lost Lauren on that last Mario movie. How do we get her back in?" And they're like, "Oh, we better cast Brie Larson in it." So of course I'm like, "Well, now I have to watch it." But it is actually super gratifying to see Brie cast in a Nintendo movie because she is the Nintendo number one fan, and it's just like a case of like this was the perfect role for her. Like that's like I clocked it immediately in the trailer when I heard that voice and we didn't know who it was. I was like, it's Brie, she's done it. But yeah, look, I don't know any of the Mario references that are happening. I don't know if the movie looks exciting or not. I think it looks the same as the first one, so that's where my expectations are. With the slight bump that Brie's going to be in it. But where's
That's
Yoshi? Where's my guy?
Well, it's a big question. We were like talking before the live stream happening, like, what's Yoshi gonna say? Is he gonna say anything?
Yeah.
Well, he didn't say anything because he wasn't there. So, I'm sure he'll crop up somehow. I don't know when. I mean, we have like some merch that's out there that we've seen his design.
Pillsbury cookies. They're out here
Yeah.
leaking
That's why
Yoshi.
I was sure he would show up because of that. I was like, this is the biggest tease that you left us with the last movie. To not include him was very odd.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
but
weird.
also we know he's coming. So like, oh, like let's
Yeah.
show off some more surprises, I guess, here in Bowser Jr. and Rosalina, and then like Yoshi's gonna be there in the next trailer. He can show up.
Yeah. I think it's a kind of just like
I
show
think this
the
to me
people what they.
says that he isn't voiced.
You think?
If he
Yeah,
had
I
a
guess
big
it.
voice actor
Good.
behind him, they would have shown him off here and rolled out the red carpet.
Yeah,
Good.
I
It's like
suppose
Crash
that's true.
Bandicoot. He doesn't need to talk.
Yeah, yeah. I think it's that would be a good decision if they do decide to do that. But yeah, I think like coming off of this after having a few days to digest this trailer, I'm still I don't know. I'm still kind of excited for it. The kind of teasers that we've gotten. This could be copium, but like. And like the first movie, it was like exactly the same. Like the trailers looked pretty promising, and then the movie was like what it was. But I'm hoping that they've kind of learned their lessons. I like the direction that they're going with like at least it seems like they're doing with like Mario and Luigi going on their own kind of adventure. Because they were very separate in the first movie. And then Peach kind of doing her own thing. Basically it's Super Peach Galaxy, I guess, because she gets to do all the planetary stuff, which
Good.
at least from the trailer, which is cool. So I like that setup, and I like Bowser Jr. being here too. I think he's a cool kind of addition, even though like Benny Safdie is like I did not, I would
He
never have
sounds
thought.
good.
He sounds great, honestly. I just didn't think they would cast someone like him in this role, but and obviously Brie. I just love that. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw the short like video she posted on social media where she like announced her
From
playing
May.
from May back when she was
Yeah,
at Super Nintendo
at
World, which
Universal
is really
Studios.
cool.
So cool.
which is crazy. But yeah, great casting. Love that she's here, and I love that Rosaline's here. I think her design translated really well. But Klein, how are you feeling coming off of the trailer? Like a few days now, are you feeling the same? Are you more or less excited for this movie? What do you think?
I was really excited for this movie before the trailer, and I'm really excited for it leaving the trailer. I think, the highest of the three of us um, on the original Mario film. And I don't by any means think it is like this is a good movie, but it gave me a longtime Mario fan. Like there are moments for Mario fans in it where it's like, oh, this particular bit of music is gonna play, or oh, they're gonna do the thing from the games, or we're gonna reference that. I think that like the Sonic movie franchise ultimately does a bit better of job of incorporating those things into like the actual story, whereas Mario is very much like this is an Illumination movie with a Mario paint job on top of it. I'd like to hope that maybe we learn some lessons from the first film in this one. I don't have any indication that that is going to happen, but I'm excited for Bowser Jr. I love that character so much. I'm excited for Benny Safdie as Bowser Jr. I think that he sounds great. Brie sounds, I was gonna say looks amazing as Rosalina, but it's an animated movie. But she sounds great. I think that if you go back and watch our reaction to the actual trailer itself, Tom and I both were immediately clocked. I know I know who this voice actor is, but neither of us could figure it out. We were so just like, who is that? Like, why do we know that voice? And then they said Brie Larson. It's like, oh, this makes so much sense.
Yeah,
My biggest question, honestly, is like, what does this mean for a potential Metroid movie? Like, does it? Because I think that she is Samus Aran.
mm,
She has always said she wants to be that character, and now she's here. I don't know if like ultimately the Metro movie is probably going to be live action, so maybe she could do it. But then if they're like, this is going to sound crazy, if we ever get a Smash Bros movie, like, does that get confusing? Because are they both animated? Are they both live action? Are they both Brie Larson? Um, these are the things that go through my head in the middle of the night. But I think that this like I didn't get my one complaint from this trailer is I didn't get enough Galaxy music. They just had the main Mario theme here, and I was really hoping like that to me is the star of the Galaxy games, as well as the creativity and amazing level design and just like fun platforming gameplay. But like the music is the star of those games, and we got none of it in this trailer, and that's a
yeah.
crime. I would like to hope that we are getting a lot in the final film, but like this is the same team that instead of giving us Donkey Kong Country music gave us Take on Me. So do with that what you will.
Yeah, it's a shame that they didn't include at least like a Gusty Garden, which is like one of the most iconic tracks from that game. I mean, like, granted,
Did we get
the
a
kind of
tiny tease of it in that first teaser? I think like right when the title hits, there was like a little bit, right?
yeah, I want to say they did, and also at the end of like the credits music in the first movie, there is a bit of Gusty Garden in that too. So I don't have a shadow of a doubt that it's going to be in the movie for sure. They're probably just going to tease it out. They'll probably save it for the second trailer where they bring out Yoshi and that sort of stuff. But yeah, do we have any other like predictions for this? Like any like characters potentially popping up or storylines? Lauren, is there
I
anything
I
you
do
want to see?
actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was thanks to clients from been writing a lot about the Mario movie on the direct this week. Um, but I was like, okay, I better brush up on my Rosalina lore. And yeah, there's obviously like these theories out there that she's related to Peach. And my suspicion is that they will separate Mario and Luigi and Peach's storylines when they go on this new galaxy adventure. And Mario and Luigi will continue to have a subpar narrative as normal and then dealing with Bowser Jr. or whatever. But then Peach will just go on this like family arc because in Rosalina's introductory scene, the one scene that we saw, she's telling the story of like Princess Peach, right? And the Lumas, they're Lumas, right? The little guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
I
don't
like
want
the
to
little
hear it
baby one
because
with the
why would we
soother
want to
as
hear a
well.
story about women? But but
Yeah, the
yeah. So
Luma's a
that
misogynist.
honestly, uh, but yeah, I think I can think that's the direction that they're going is to have like a bit of a like building out the backstory between Peach and Rosalina and like maybe like a
Mm.
family story there, and then have them all come back together towards the end.
Yeah, I could see that. I think that's a good way of making Peach feel a bit more involved in this one. I feel like she was kind of like I like Anya Taylor-Joy as Peach in the first movie, but she is kind of shortchanged. She doesn't get that much to do. So I think giving her that kind of arc in this would, I think, bring her story together a bit more. The thing I want to see is we have Bowser Jr. in this. I'd love to see some of the other Koopalings. I don't know if we will get that, but throw in a Ludwig, throw in a Morton, throw in
I
an
don't know if you
Iggy.
can do some of them though, Tom. I think you have to, if they're there, you have to
No,
have
I
all
mean,
7 or whatever.
I'm throwing out the names, so I'm saying all of them got to be there. They all have to show up on an airship or something, or their own personal airships or whatever. I think that would be really cool, even if it's just like a third act thing where he brings in his siblings to kind of fight Mario and Luigi. I think that'd be a lot of fun. But Klein, any predictions?
I think Wario's in this movie.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know how he would factor in. I just, as Lauren said, I've been writing a lot about this film, so I'm like, like this is my time. I'm like knee deep in the like Mario Galaxy movie report circles, and everything that has been said about this film is like starting to come true. And the one thing that we haven't seen is Wario. So
Mhm.
I think he's in this film. I think he's going to be like a former spurned coworker, maybe of Mario and Luigi's, or maybe he sees like maybe I think he's like the Earth-based villain, or like
Okay.
the Brooklyn-based villain, the real world. I think that he sees
Yeah.
Mario and Luigi getting all sorts of hype for their plumbing business and is like, wah, and does his own thing. I don't know if Waluigi's in it. I would love to see the Koopalings, but I don't know if we get that.
One thing about the trailer is that we do see Peach on some kind of casino like planet or level,
Mm-hmm.
and Wario, he loves money.
He loves
Wario's a
money.
big fan of money. I could see Wario potentially running that casino. Maybe there's like a planet that they go to, and like Wario's there. Maybe Waluigi's there too. And he's just kind of there doing his own thing on like because Wario has his own games like the Wario Land games, WarioWare. So I think having him because kind of like a subplot with this movie, I think that's honestly possible.
My theory is that in the same way that Yoshi was the tease at the end of the first movie, Wario and Waluigi would be, or one of them, or both of them would be the tease at the end of this movie for the potential third movie, which is probably going to happen. We all know it.
Mm-hmm. I think
Yeah.
we're getting a third film. I don't know if we get more beyond that.
Yeah, I mean,
I
well, they
don't
make
know. There's
money.
like 5
So.
Minion movies.
I
Yeah,
know.
that's
I think we
true.
get spin-offs though, because like there's been reports of the Donkey
Yeah.
Kong film, and like I think we get a Luigi's Mansion thing.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I'm just surprised we're doing Galaxy now. That's like the one thing I keep thinking about is like, why didn't we do like the Super Mario World movie? Because I don't think you can do World after you do Galaxy.
Yeah.
Whatever.
What do
I don't
you
know.
do after Galaxy? Like, because they're also doing
Universe.
Odyssey stuff in this.
I think they do,
Universe.
or I think they just call it Odyssey. Honestly, I think the next one
Mm.
is the Super Mario Odyssey movie.
Yeah.
Not
Even
to
though
be
they're doing
confused
some of that
with
here.
Christopher Nolan's
Yeah,
Odyssey.
Exactly. Same story.
Yeah.
Okay. We move on. Lauren Rouse, your favorite franchise is back and bigger than ever.
Okay. This is a story from from Wesley Inpool at IGN. But yes, a new game called Horizon Steel Frontiers has been revealed. So the story goes, NCSoft and Sony have announced Horizon Steel Frontiers, a new MMORPG set in Guerrilla's Horizon universe, designed specifically for mobile. South Korean video game NCSoft, best known for MMOs such as Guild Wars and Lineage, has finally confirmed its long-rumored partnership with Sony and Guerrilla to build a Horizon MMO and revealed the game via a 10-minute development diary and a gameplay video. Horizon Steel Frontiers is a massively multiplayer take on Horizon, complete with character customization, social features, and raid-style boss fights. It looks like it has taken inspiration from Capcom's Monster Hunter in terms of the PvE gameplay, although with Horizon's trademark robot dinosaur enemies. You play a machine hunter in the Deadlands and work with and against other players to defeat enemies and compete for resources. There's no release date, but we do know Horizon Steel Frontiers is primarily built for mobile devices. It will also be playable on PC via Purple, NCSoft's proprietary game platform. There's no mention of a PlayStation release or a wider console launch. The announcement of Horizon Steel Frontiers comes as Guerrilla is reportedly working on a multiplayer live service Horizon game of its own, although this is expected to launch on PlayStation 5 and maybe PC. So, a couple of things. Firstly, did you guys see this gameplay? What did you think of it? And what's going on? Why is it not coming to PlayStation? This is a PlayStation exclusive franchise. I'm incredibly confused. But anyway, game thoughts first. What did you think, Tom?
Yeah, I think from the kind of gameplay showcase that they showed, I mean, I think it looks fun. Particularly the kind of grapple feature that they've included in this. Seems like the biggest kind of draw for someone like it just looks like a lot of fun to use, kind of grappling around the world, but also grappling on like enemies. It seems like being able to grapple close to them and using that to your advantage. Um, and like I've always liked the idea of like a Monster Hunter format. I've not dabbled in Monster Hunter. I'd like to, but seeing that applied to something like Horizon, I think makes a lot of sense. Just based on like the world that you inhabit in those games, and that sort of thing. Um, but also because it's an MMO, inherently that makes me kind of like uh just like less likely to play it because of like just how much of a commitment MMOs are in just in general. Like I'd love to play like Final Fantasy 14. I love to play like RuneScape or something, but like I just can't commit that much time to something like that at this point. But I don't know, like if it eventually comes to something that I can properly play on. I mean, I guess I could play on my phone. And if you guys wanted to like hop on, I'd probably give it a go. But other than that, I think, um, yeah, I'm just not sure if I would try this at this point.
What about you, Klein?
Gameplay wise, I actually think it looks like pretty good. I was surprised by that when I saw this headline going around mobile MMO in the Horizon universe. I think that it looks like quite impressive. I guess that's just where mobile platforms and the hardware is at this point. There are little things that I'm like confused about. One, the missing a PlayStation version is kind of weird, but like even just looking at the gameplay, it's like the thing I do really like about Horizon is how visceral the combat feels and like how you're in it and you're knocking pieces of these enemies off. And that makes a lot of sense for a Monster Hunter style MMO. But then you're looking at this gameplay and it's like, oh, and now I have cooldown bars at the bottom, like you would expect to see in a World of Warcraft. And like, is that what does that mean? Am I like, oh, you used your slash, now you have to use this trap, and now like, and your that doesn't interest me very much at all. I do also want to like put out there that this is apparently on top of a multiplayer Horizon thing being developed at Gorilla.
Yeah.
So they have another if this is not your cup of tea, they might have another like bite at the apple with it, but I'm confused. Why does this trailer drop at 3 a.m. on a Tuesday morning? Like, it wasn't with any pomp or circumstance. It was just on YouTube, and people found it. It almost feels like PlayStation is like, yeah, we signed a deal, and like we're like they're hiding it from us. Like, we signed a deal, but like we don't really want to promote it, but we have to. And yeah, and there's also
Why
there's
would
a
they
lot of
promote
AI
it? It's not coming
discussion.
to PlayStation.
I know. I know. There's also a lot of AI discussion around this game that is like,
Yes.
are they using it? Aren't they using it? You look at some of the like the cooking animation specifically is it is the animation of the palicos, the little cats from Monster Hunter. And it's like, okay, like if that were to be generative AI, it would pull from a bunch of places which would make it like an exact replica of something else. So I don't know. I don't want to throw out accusations where there might not be anything, but I have just seen that like percolating in the ether in regards to this game.
Yeah, I think I was impressed by the visuals and that it seemed to be on par with the most recent Horizon games and that level of fidelity. So that was impressive. Would love to see it, I guess, like running on mobile just to see what that's like and how it plays. But yeah, it's kind of what I want in terms of like a multiplayer side of Horizon, just being able to go in and beat up machines with your friends and work cooperatively in that way. But yeah, it just sort of feels like why is this happening when you also have a multiplayer live service game in development at Gorilla? It like I'm maybe with you, Klein, was like, did they make a deal early on in the process when they weren't going to do one? And then like when is the right time for this for Gorilla's one to come out? Like, I don't know. I think if there's going to be two versions of this Horizon situation, like I'm going to go with the one that Gorilla is making. I'm not going to go with this sort of like side company version that's potentially using AI, and that's only coming out on mobile. So I wonder if that is why there is the separation, why it's not coming on PS5 is because Gorilla's put the stake in like our one is going to be on PS5. But then I just still don't understand the logic behind making this game at all and doing the deal. I don't know. Gorilla has had some like awkward discussions around the use of AI, which I don't know like how much is going to come to fruition or what is going on behind closed doors, but yeah, that does sort of put me off a little bit if that is true, and it will come out if it is true. So yeah, just give me Horizon 3 at this point. I don't really care about these other things.
This game has to drop on November 19th, right? 2026.
Oh, God, can you imagine?
If you want people to forget about it, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think on the like PlayStation point, I think like the reason why it's on mobile is like obviously because the install base on mobile is like infinitely more than
Especially in East Asia. Like I think that this
Yeah.
game is for China specifically. Like this is going to do numbers there, and mobile gaming over there is like the dominant way of playing things. So NC Soft is a Chinese company, and I think that we'll look back at this, and in a year or a year after it comes out, we'll be like, how does this have like 15 million users? And you look at like a heat graph of the world, and it's like concentrated just in like Japan, Korea, China, and like that will be kind of it.
NCSoft's a South Korean company, just adding.
Oh, is it? Okay.
But it is interesting that they wouldn't even attempt to bring it to like PlayStation. I guess just because like maybe it's just not worth the effort because I don't know, maybe they just don't see any kind of return.
Is there what does a controller look like in this game, right? Like that is also maybe one of the reasons. It's like, how much of this game is it mobile first or is it PC first? Because if it's mobile first, I can see a lot of this being like, you're not even really controlling the character at all. You are just like, tap that, wait for the cooldown, the character goes and does a cool thing, tap that, like that. There are plenty of mobile games like that in the world as well. And they're going, hey, we can put that on PC fairly easily. I don't think it's going to control like I'm hitting R2 to draw or pull the bow back and launch an arrow at this thing. I have a feeling, just looking from the gameplay, it is going to be a very mobile first control scheme.
Yeah, I think you're right that this is probably aimed at a different market than maybe like the mainstream Western audience, which is probably maybe why Guerrilla is still going ahead on their own multiplayer live service game. My wish for that is that it's not like a separate game, that it is just that they do Horizon 3 and then this is an add-on, kind of like the Legends mode in Ghost or the multiplayer in The Last of Us, because we saw what happened when they tried to spin off The Last of Us multiplayer in its own thing. It just kind of fell apart. So I think Horizon has like a bit of an easier pathway to what a multiplayer looks like. It's quite simple that you're just going to probably go in and beat up machines and in like arena style matches or something like that. And that would scratch the itch for a lot of people. But yeah, I don't need like a separate entire game that is just that, like if it is just a mode where I can pick my characters, and maybe it's like the roguelike mode that they did in God of War or Last of Us, where that seems to be a popular route these days. But anyway, I just hope that I'm just hoping that they're still focusing on Horizon 3 at this point.
We'll get it. We will get Horizon 3 at some point. It at this point feels like a PS6 game, but I don't know. Let's Let's dive into a couple quick hit news nuggets. You guys put these into the document. It's been a very busy week. So, headlines. Tom, Pokemon Pokopia, March, right?
Let's
Sorry,
check that.
Oh, Lauren, you put it in? Okay,
Yeah.
Lauren, Pokemon Pokopia, March? Yes?
Yeah, it has a release date finally and like a 10-minute sort of extended trailer. So just checking if either of you watched this, or will I give...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I did.
You watched it?
This. Yeah.
Yeah,
And,
it's not really a Klein game, but Tom,
No.
having seen more from this trailer, like we've gotten a way more context around what this game's going to look like. I think, at least from my perspective, it's kind of scratching every itch that I wanted it to. Like it is a case of like, okay, you meet this Pokemon and now you can start fires with Charmander. You can learn how to grow plants thanks to Bulbasaur. I'm like, that is just really, really cool in my mind. And you can like, because you're a Ditto, so you can transform into any Pokemon. You can transform into like Lapras and go out into the ocean, or Dragonite and fly over your areas. I think it's really promising. I'm a little bit excited.
Yeah, I honestly think so too. I think it presented pretty well. I'm wondering how, like, because you have your little area they show in the game, but they also have, like you said, like you can become Lapras or like Dragonite and like go venture past those things. And it seems like it's like procedurally generated like Minecraft, where it's like gives you like other locations that are kind of randomized to explore from the looks of it. But I just wonder how that's all going to work. But
Mm.
yeah, I think it like the ways you can customize the like just interacting with Pokemon and be able to like fulfill the request is giving a lot of Pokemon Mystery Dungeon vibes, which is another like spin-off of Pokemon that I love. Just being able to be more involved with Pokemon, that sort of thing. And like it introduced like some weird Pokemon variants. Like there's a weird Tangrowth, there's a weird mossy Snorlax guy, there's like a ghostly Pikachu, I think it's called, which is very cute. So I wondered, like, are these going to be exclusive to this game? Are they going to become a bigger part of other Pokemon games? I don't know, but I'm kind of excited for it. I think this will fill the Animal Crossing. I mean, we're getting that big update in January, but I think it's going to fill the that spot in the meantime.
Yeah, and so the other big news was that it is coming out on March 5, and seems like there was some talk about it being the game key card thing. I'm not
Yes.
quite aware of that conversation, but
Yeah.
that was causing some controversy.
Yeah. So the only thing with that is that, yeah. So up to this point, Nintendo's kind of made it so that all physical games have it's all on the cart. Like you get a physical game, it's all on the physical thing. But Pokopia is the first, I guess, Nintendo published game where you have a physical card, but you put it in and it basically just downloads all the data from the eShop. So then you can only play the game once you have the physical key card like inserted. So you don't technically have a physical version of the game if you buy the game physically, which is kind of just defeats the purpose
Yeah.
of having a physical thing. I mean, a lot of other you know games do this at this point now.
It's what
So
PlayStation's been doing it since the PS4.
exactly, yeah.
There's
So
nothing on that disc. It's just activating a download.
yeah, which sucks, but yeah, it's just an interesting strategy that the fact that like a Nintendo published thing is doing this because we've seen a lot of third parties do it now, like Street Fighter's done it, like so Capcom, and then Square Enix is doing it with the upcoming Final Fantasy VII remake, but yeah, that was causing some issues, but I don't know, it's just I don't really know what you could do about it at this point. I guess if you don't want to do that, don't don't buy the physical, um,
Yeah.
yeah. That's the only thing.
It's just the big issue is that people, like some people, still don't have like access to fast enough internet to
Yeah,
download
exactly, which
something. Like if you don't
sucks.
have an internet connection,
Australia.
you can't download
Yeah.
it right from the get go. I guess the issue is storage, right? That the cartridges
Yeah,
themselves don't have enough storage on them for the size of these games that are going on Switch 2, and so the only way to do it is to have a download. And then at that point, it's like, okay, well then, why did we use this format at all then? Like,
yeah.
like this is a
It
new
is kind
console. It's
of
not like we're 8 years into a console life and it's like, oh no, the games have gone too big.
Well, I think
yeah.
it's not it's partially that, but it's also there's also the this factor of it is that I think I've read this somewhere is that like Nintendo offers like these smaller game key cards which are cheaper to manufacture, and then they offer the like 64 GB cards for like physical, but those are much more expensive. So financially, a lot of companies are going, okay, well, we'll just go with the cheaper option and then make consumers download the games, which is better for them, but for the consumer, it just they lose out because they didn't want to shell out for that 64 GB card essentially, which sucks.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I think there is some advantages to physical games. Still, like I'm still a physical game
Oh yeah,
stickler, even though
same.
I think the way that they package them, particularly Nintendo, is just a waste of space. But it's fine. Um, but yeah, I think in terms of like retailers can like, mark down prices, so there's opportunities to get games cheaper than it would be just to always be dictated by the Nintendo eShop or the PlayStation Store or the Microsoft Store. So I think that is an advantage, and like gift giving and things like that. I don't know. It's nicer to give something physical than to if people are into that. But
Mhm.
yeah, apart from that, March 5, Pokemon Pokopia, probably a big flag to plant next year to keep an eye on.
Other story we have here: PlayStation in the middle of its life cycle. Who is it? Who wrote it down? What does that mean? What does the middle
I
of
put
life
it in
cycle
here.
mean? Oh, okay.
Okay. Yes, this was. I'm getting it open. I'm really prepared. A comment from the PlayStation CFO Lin Tao has revealed that the company believes the PS5 is quote only in the middle of the journey. We're really planning to expand it even further. That's basically the main quote. Is now in 2025, we are 5 years into the PlayStation 5's release. If this is the middle of the road, that means we're looking at probably, 2030 that we're getting a PS6, which is typically like a few years longer than the typical life cycle. So I just wanted to get you guys' thoughts on this. Like, do we think is this going to be the new life cycle, that they're going to extend it a bit? Do we like that idea? Personally, I think it's a good thing. I think for a lot of us, it just feels like the PS5 just got here. We're just getting accustomed to it. Games are just starting to really fill up on the console. So to sort of be thinking about upgrading to a PS6 in the next year or two seems too soon to me. But what do you guys think?
I don't know if this means that the PS5 is like ending, or I don't know if this means PS6 is coming in 2030. I think it means that the PS5 will be done by then, and usually there is a bit of overlap. So like
Right.
maybe, I don't know, 2027.
Yeah. Well, I was wondering whether like this just means like the PS5 they're gonna keep supporting it up until like 2030, but maybe the PS6 does come like a bit earlier than that. Maybe they do release it like 2027 or 2028, but they commit to doing a certain amount past that point. I mean, I guess similar to what they did with the PS4, where there was a lot of cross-gen stuff.
Mm.
So, I mean, yeah, if that does mean like the PS6 is not till then, yeah, I mean, I'm similar. I'm like, that's fine. I'm no rush to upgrade this thing. This plays games as well as it should. I think at this point. So, I say hold it off as much as possible because I'm not ready to let it go yet.
Well, we also don't know, like, because really, like, these life cycles have kind of been tied into the competitive cycles with the console races as well. Like, and we have been talked about it at length. We don't know what Microsoft is going to do next, if there's even going to be a console for them to release next time. So if that is the case, then PlayStation really has its own runway. They can pick whenever they want. They don't feel like they have to force to come out in a certain holiday season to compete with Microsoft, because like Nintendo does whatever it wants. Obviously, that's not a concern. So I think if it is a case of like, we will give it a couple of extra years to get legs, and I think particularly with game development cycles becoming longer, like the life cycle of consoles also needs to be longer. So if this is a step in that direction, I think it only seems natural.
Yeah,
Cool.
for sure.
And then the last thing we have in here is the Zelda movie is started filming. It happened this past week. We got our first footage this week, or like yesterday. The first kind of leaks. It looks really good. Zelda's there in what seems
Yeah,
to be her Breath of the Wild getup,
yeah,
but then Link
exactly.
is
And
wearing the classic green. So I feel like this is going to be an amalgamation of a few things.
yeah, and I think I think that's how I pronounce her name. Daikin Luckman from Severance. She plays Miss Casey in Severance. Like amazing in that show. As potentially playing Impa, it
Is
seems
that
from the
her?
kind of footage. Yeah,
Is
no,
that
I
for
mean,
sure her? Oh wow,
it
Oh,
it really
okay.
looks like her. And a lot of people online seem to
wow.
think that it is her. So and that's the first kind of casting besides Link and Zelda that
Yeah.
we have gotten. So if we're bringing that kind of caliber of talent to this project, this could be something really special, honestly. But yeah, they look great. I think even like the kind of armor that they have on the horses looks really authentic to a lot of Zelda stuff. Like you said, Klein, the costumes for Link and Zelda look fantastic. It is interesting that they're going with that. Both Breath of the Wild for Zelda, Ocarina of Time for Link. It does seem like it will be this kind of amalgamated story, um, in terms of what they do with this. Because also like Link and Zelda seem to be in the same scene, so like what are they doing, in this story, together? It's going to be really interesting to just see that. But Lauren, do you have any kind of thoughts seeing this kind of these set videos, set photos?
I'm still watching them, so come back to me.
Okay. Uh, Klein, do you have anything else that you you picked out from this, or
I
just any
think
other
that
thoughts about the Zelda movie?
honestly, the biggest thing that I am like I keep thinking about having seen it now is, yes, it's a blurry, grainy set photo, but I more confidently than ever believe this is going to be like really good. Believe that this is like,
Yeah.
even though I for a long time thought, okay, we need to do like an animated Zelda movie, like we need to bring in Ghibli or someone like that to do this. There's just being these gradual checks on the checklist that have started to convince me, okay, maybe this will be something special. First, it was casting the unknowns. I think that that is a great way to go with Zelda and Link. I think these two actors, because we don't have a ton of history with either of them, will be able to disappear into these roles. Then you have, of course, Wes Ball directing. This is his dream project. He's a diehard Zelda fan. That's the best thing you want to hear, as somebody who is a big Zelda fan waiting for this movie. And then, you know what? We're going to go shoot New Zealand. You want to know what else shot New Zealand? Lord of the Rings. There's a lot of similarities there just from a sense of scale. There's things you can do with the landscapes in New Zealand that you can't do anywhere else in the world. It truly does look like a fantasy world. Like it looks like something otherworldly entirely. And so I'm over the moon about these first looks. I can't wait to see more casting information. I think what we're ultimately going to get with this film is going to be Ocarina of Time, but it's not Zelda's the damsel in distress. It will be like Link and Zelda on this battle against Ganon together, and they're like brought together, and they're like, we are two pieces of the Triforce. Ganon's the third. We need to bring him down, sort of deal. And I am so into that. Like, I am super, super like the Zelda of yesteryear is not the Zelda we have today. The Breath of the Wild Zelda, the Tears of the Kingdom Zelda goes back in time and saves the universe. Like this isn't just she isn't just a princess to be saved. And so including her in this like epic dungeon crawling story, I think is a fantastic idea. At least that's what it looks like it is they're doing from here. I don't know.
Yeah. Lauren, you've had some time to look at it. What do you think?
I was just trying to find the videos of Link because I couldn't see him, but
Oh
you
yeah.
only get to really see him from the back.
It's very, very quick.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I think it looks cool. I'm also like, as soon as I saw that it was filming in New Zealand, and like, I was like, it's gonna be fine. There was like concerns, of course, of like, what was this gonna be? Like, is it when it was confirmed it was live action? There is still a little bit of concern from the community of like, should it have been animated? But I think this is one of the properties that, if you're gonna do it in live action, this is the one, and I think it's gonna look really cool. Based on what we've seen, the casting of Deechin Lockman is like really, really cool. I didn't realize that she was in that, but as soon as I've seen these videos, I'm like, that definitely looks like her.
Yeah.
So she's great, and I can't wait to see, like, if, like you say, Tom, if that's the caliber of people we're getting in this movie, I can't wait to see who else is in it.
If she's
Yeah.
Impa, that's awesome. Like
Yeah.
that is
Like
that is
that's
so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, I've definitely been the kind of Zelda live action movie kind of, I don't know. I've just been nervous. I've just been really nervous about it. But this is kind of, I don't know, it really has kind of reinvigorated me. I think that they're doing it right. Like at least from like a visual standpoint, and that gives me hope for the rest of it. Like if it was just Link in a in like a t-shirt with like a Triforce symbol on it, then I would be worried. But the fact that they're going all in with all the stuff, it seems like I can rest a little bit easy.
That
And the
first
teams in
trailer,
New Zealand are so right for that.
oh,
Like, having done
Oh
like
yeah.
Avatar, like all like you say, all
Mhm.
otherworldly things go there to film. So they're the right team to do it. And if it gets animation or VFX done by Weta, that is really cool.
Oh yeah.
that trailer, whenever we get it, probably sometime next year, because it's March 27 is when we will get it. The music's going to be great. I think it's going to look good. Can we get the VFX to the level they need to be? I hope. Like that's the only right now. That's my only reservation after having seen these like set videos. But I think Nintendo, I think Sony know what they have here and are going to throw as much money at it as they can. And they seem to have time. Like they're starting now, so they'll probably finish filming, let's say by next summer, like June at the latest, at the absolute latest. And then they have almost a whole year to post production.
Yeah. And it's not the same thing, but like I watched Predator Badlands today, and that movie's got like
Mm.
an $100 million
That was also in New
budget.
Zealand.
Yeah, and it looks
Yeah, and
amazing.
also New Zealand. And it looks fantastic. Like, so if they can do that on that budget, I don't know what the budget is for this Zelda movie, but I think they'll put in the effort, and I think it'll look great.
And Wes Ball's experience with the Apes movies and that
Oh
kind
yeah.
of motion capture and stuff, I think particularly like characters like Ganondorf, like that's got some real potential. So I think we're gonna be okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there's several scenes in that Apes movie that is like, this is a Zelda film. Like, I am
Mm.
when they're climbing the buildings at the beginning of that movie, it's like, oh, this is your pitch to me right now. This is your audition, and you're absolutely nailing it. But that's gonna do it for a headline-dominated news we choose. Tom Drew, give us that outro.
It's the news we choose. Yeah.
And we head on over to what we've been playing. Lauren, Dispatch Season 1 has come and gone. Is there a hole in your heart? Are you missing all of your super-powered friends?
Yeah, I actually put off playing it because I was like, it's not ending, you know. Like there's gonna be another new episode next week. But yeah, it's over. Coming into the last two episodes, I was like, how are they gonna land this? There's still so many things that they need to address, but the last couple episodes were last episode in particular was a little bit longer, and they definitely like landed the plane. I am interested now, definitely, to go back and play with different decisions because I think there is definitely some distinctive paths that you can see, like, oh, my choice has made an impact here and here and here, and but somehow they can still tie it together in a way that narratively makes sense. That to me is the biggest, like, most impressive part of this is like all those branching narratives come together. And I know that that's been done before in Telltale games, but I feel like this narrative episodic storytelling style really fell away with Telltale, and to see it come back in this way paired with this great like commitment to the animation style and the cast has been something really new, and I think it's really revitalized people's hunger for that. So I think this was like a huge slam dunk for Ad Hoc Studio. I'm so glad that that it has been, because this was their first game and they almost, it seemed like, weren't going to make it until Critical Role came in and like gave them some funding, and then their next game for that is going to be like Critical Role's game. Maybe there'll be more Dispatch. There have been some talks. I think the way things end, it could certainly open things up for that. It just depends on, like, now you have canon decisions to make if you want to do more. So I don't know how they would address that. Maybe they would go with like a different character or something like that, but in the same world. Regardless, like, the opportunities are kind of endless, and I hope that the success that they see from this means that there's going to be just like so much more in this style. So all in all, real sad that it's over, but also like I'll just go play it again. So that is the awesome replayability factor.
Tom, have you dived into Dispatch, and what else have you been playing?
Not yeah, I've seen some things about it, but I definitely still will play it at some point soon. Yeah, unfortunately, not that much gaming time this week. The only thing I've really played is Simpsons Fortnite. They're doing like a Fortnite season where it's all Simpsons themed. You can fight people in Springfield. There's a battle pass. Yes, I have unlocked Marge. It's it's pretty fun. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, to be honest, not that much time. Hopefully, I can get back to Ghost soon. Hopefully, I can get back to all these other games. Yeah, at some point in the near future.
Yeah, the only thing I've been playing is Lumines Arise. It's finally here, the new Lumines game, inspired by Tetris Effect. I have played through the entire thing. I beat it in one sitting. I sat there and did the whole journey mode. There's plenty more to do, just because it is like it's an arcade experience. There's this journey mode that has kind of like a set list, I would call it, not even a story. But I absolutely adored this this game. I don't think it was a hard thing for me to fall in love with. I love Lumines. Tetris Effect is one of my favorite games of all time. You pair those two things together and you're going to have a match made in heaven. I just think that the gameplay of Lumines always sort of had this Tetris Effect nature to it, simply because you were playing around with music as you were moving around the Lumines board, but they really lean into that. The team at Enhance here have just like perfected that mix of visual, audio, and gameplay all matching together. There were moments where I was tearing up with my headphones on, just simply because it was like I was dropping blocks to the music and the music exploded, and it was like, this is something so special. Like, I think that this is a 10 out of 10 game. Is it better than Tetris Effect? That's a conversation I would like to have within myself as I sit with this game for a bit longer, but like it definitely hit me harder, and I think that is simply just because I do love Lumines more than I like Tetris. And so I highly recommend to you two. I know that I think it might be $40 Canadian. I think it might maybe even be 50, and I beat it in like 3.5 hours, the journey mode. But like, it's the impact of that experience. And then you do have like that, it is that arcade thing. So maybe if you are just going to do the journey, you wait for it to be a PS Plus game. You wait for it to get discounted. I'm sure it will be fairly soon. But it is just like, it's so special. And I think it might be my game of the year right now. Like, I just like, it really affected me, which I found quite funny because I was just dropping blocks. But you know what? And some of the blocks, they drop really good. Like, some of the themes are really cool. They have one that is like apple, like different vegetables and fruits, and then when you clear it, they all get sliced and come like flying at you. It is really
Oh,
cool.
it's like Fruit
But
Ninja.
yeah, it's so cool. Luminous
How's the
Arise.
music?
Oh, the music's so good. I don't know if, because Tetris Effect had that one identifiable song right off the beginning, and I don't know if that song is like better than anything in Luminous Arise, or if I've just sat with it longer and I know it. But there's specifically the finale song in Luminous Arise. I will be listening to that forever. I just need to see if how they match up. I do think overall I like the music here more than Tetris Effect, but Tetris Effect has that, like, that first song is just such a high and is something so special. I didn't play it in VR. I know a lot of people, that's how they experience these games, but I had a lot of fun with it. Actually, my thumb was sore all week from the night of playing it, and I didn't go back. So I
Wow.
would like to go back and do it again. But yeah, it's very, 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 very good. And it got me some really good points on Fantasy Critics. So shout out there.
There you go. Didn't
Like I said, like an 89.
Oh my god, that's insane. Yeah, it's been getting like amazing reviews, so yeah, I'm not surprised.
It's a 10 out of
Didn't
10. Like, it is perfect.
Except that it could be longer, maybe.
I
Is that
don't
what you're
know.
saying?
Like, Tetris, like Tetris Effect, you could do probably in about 3 hours. And I did this in about 3.5.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
so
there's a
it's like
replayability factor too.
it's that
Yes.
arcade experience.
Yeah. But didn't the creator of Luminous Arise like one of your
And
posts as
Tetris
well?
Effect. Yeah, the
Yeah.
Mizuguchi, I posted about this on Twitter, and he retweeted and liked it, and the Enhance, who does these games, retweeted and liked it. I was like, oh my god.
This is your
Crazy.
official invitation to come on the show, so.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
please.
I could reach out. I know an
Hey, I
email. I
mean,
could send an email.
come on.
We can see what
We're on
Let's
a
do
happens.
it.
first-like basis now.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
Comment corner. Tom, you says you messed up in the document. What does that mean? What did you
Guys,
do?
I messed up. This is bring out the ukuleles, bring out the notes app apologies. I messed up here. So I will say I went to so if you're not aware, on YouTube, on like the creator kind of page, you have like a community tab where you can see all the comments, all the lovely comments you get on a week to week basis. But I didn't really know how it works specifically. I thought it was more like a notification sort of thing where it showed like notifications of all the comments you've gotten. So for some reason, I was looking for a specific comment, but for some reason, I went select all, but it was like I'd say 10 comments, 10 of the most recent comments, and I click remove, and it just deleted all of those comments. And I was like,
Tom!
I didn't want to do that. Why did you make me do that? And it didn't give like any prompt of like, are you sure you want to remove these? None of that. There's no undo button. YouTube, why did you do this? If there's a way that YouTube support, if they see this, or if there's a way to fix this, please reach out. But I know Ryan Cortero, who always leaves a lovely comment, he had a great comment. It's gone. It's gone in the ether, which is
Okay.
it sucks.
So what
sorry.
I'm going to say here to you, viewer at home, go rectify that and fill up our comment section. Go to every video you can, comment this week's comment corner question of the week is, are you interested in the Steam Machine? Share your thoughts here on YouTube. Head on over to Spotify. If you're listening there as well, you can leave comments. Also, as always, follow the show at Controller Club Pod on Instagram and Blue Sky, at Controller_Club on Twitter, and at Controller.club on TikTok. If you're over here on YouTube, please subscribe, ring the bell, thumbs up. It really helps us out in our ongoing fight against the algorithm. And if you're over on podcast services, please rate and review us wherever you are listening. Tom, where can people keep up with you, and what do you have going on?
Yeah, you can find me at Tom Draw, Instagram, Blue Sky, basically everywhere on the internet. Yeah, not much going on. I posted some Pokemon card pulls, very on brand for me. That's about it. If you want to yell at me for deleting a bunch of comments, you can also do that too at Tom Drew Art. Yeah, that's about it.
Lauren, what do you have going on in your life, and where can people find it?
You can follow me at lrouse19 on the socials. I finally do have something going on in my life. That's not true. I have plenty of things going on, but work-wise, I've been talking about Dispatch a lot. I actually spoke to the cast of Dispatch, not for Dispatch, but in terms of Critical Role. Got to interview them for the Mighty Nine. Huge moment for me. And the interviews from that are going to go up this week, so stay tuned for that, because I'll be promoting the hell out of
Super
it.
exciting, because you are a Critical Role fan, so that is awesome. That is very exciting. You can keep up with me everywhere. I'm at the Kleinfelt, TheKleinFelt. Might have some fun stuff in the works, so keep an eye over there over the next little bit. And that's going to wrap up this episode of Controller Club. As always, thank you so much for listening or watching if you're over on YouTube. Now, let's get gaming.